Okay, let's cheer for a good episode regarding art.
Hello and welcome to the ArtCast.
Hello.
Oh my god, that shot is way too big.
You want me to finish it?
I'm taking mine in two.
I finished it.
Okay. Okay, so this is ArtCast number 4. Special host is Oscar. Co-host is Dylan too. Our guest will be Brooke. We'll be talking to Brooke.
Hello. Hello.
Disenchanted Charms.
Disenchanted
That's
Charms
me.
indeed.
Do you consider that your name? Your pseudonym?
I don't know if I made that up like 4 years ago. I don't know if it. I mean, I like it, but I don't know if it always feels weird when I get packages in the mail and it says Disenchanted Charm.
So
I
it
don't
is
know.
your name. It's your
It is.
business title.
Do you pay taxes on it now?
No.
Not yet.
I mean,
Oh shit,
yes.
we gotta cut this out. The IRS is gonna see this.
I also don't have an LLC, so
Not yet.
not yet. It's too much legal trouble
Yeah,
with all that shit.
It's baby steps. Baby steps.
Maybe one day I'll get there, but
Yeah.
not now.
So, we just jumped right into the thick of it with how artists pay taxes. I believe
pay
the cutoff.
taxes.
There's a monetary.
Yeah, $600 or $1,200. If you make more than that in a year, you have to pay taxes.
I thought it was much more than that. I thought it was a few thousand.
Oh, that would be
I think it's over
amazing.
1,000.
Oh, that's great.
I think
'Cause
it
I
could
heard
be
it was
as
like-
much as like 5,000.
Oh, okay, then you don't have nothing to worry about.
Hi, you know I'm not making that much, bro.
Okay, right. You got a point. I'm sorry.
I mean, well, I
How-
haven't this year.
How's yet? Yeah, because it started. How's Etsy treating you?
Well, so I had a really good year, and then I fell off the face of the earth for a year, and then so I'm kind of starting from scratch. So like not that great right now, but you know.
Etsy is a weird company, don't they?
Yeah,
Aren't
they-
they
it's
owned
awful.
by? They're part of a much bigger conglomeration now. Or I heard that Etsy bought some other famous thing.
Yeah, I don't know who owns Etsy, but they take like 30% of whatever you make. So, say you sell something for like $100, they get 30% of it.
Well,
It
compared
sucks.
to the art world, galleries take 50% usually.
Really?
Yeah.
So Etsy's your gallery owner, and they're being slightly more
They're
generous.
greedy, is what they are. But
That is
I mean,
a lot for something that's basically just a hosting platform for
yeah,
crafted
but it's
things.
you're kind of paying for like being like on Etsy's algorithm. So like if you just have your own website, then you're trying to like gain all these views and traffic just from like your own, say like advertising like Instagram or TikTok. But I don't know, if you can't really get that many views on like any of those places, like how are you going to gain the traffic that you need to sell on your own website?
You got a point there.
So if you use Etsy, you can use like tags, you can use keywords, and people can find that if they just like type something in. So you have that, but they take like 30%.
Okay, let's just go back because I kind of apologize for just jumping like there.
Oh, that's okay.
Like,
We had to start
like
somewhere.
not assuming that you can swim and just throwing you into the ocean.
I can swim good.
Yeah, better than me. I can just float. Okay, so how'd you get into art?
Good question. Good question.
I mean, I've kind of done like all the art forms. When I was like a little kid, my uncle was like babysitting my siblings and I, and they were well, both of my uncles are artists, but he got us into like drawing and like using pens and like pencils and stuff. So we were just like drawing all the time. And then we also had like art classes in school, so I was in art classes. And I always felt like I was pretty good at it, so I just kind of was like, this is my thing. Yeah. So, like, from a very early age, I was, like, drawing, painting. I was just always kind of like a creative person.
So explain this to me, because you started collaborating with Dylan years ago, doing oil on canvas, right?
Yeah.
So how was that? How was your transition from pencils and that to oil on canvas?
I mean, it just kind of came naturally. I went to art school. I'm an art school dropout. And I started, like, painting and using, like, oil and watercolor and stuff like that. But I initially went to school for photography. So I was, like, really big into, like, drawing and stuff when I was, like, I don't know, like 10 or something. And then I kind of, like, didn't do much art for a while, and then I was, like, super into photography when I was, like, I think I got my first, like, DSLR when I was maybe 14, something, like, beginning of high school.
You still do a lot of photography to take pictures of your recent work. Photography is one of those skills I feel like is very useful for your entire life.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know about you, but I miss the smell, the chemical smells of processing film.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Yeah.
And it's a weird smell.
It is.
But
Did you do darkroom photography?
Yeah,
I
black
didn't
and
know
white
that.
back in the community college era.
Wow.
I miss it, but it's just an expensive hobby.
It is.
Such an expensive hobby.
Yeah. I mean,
And if I had
yeah.
the space, I would do it again. Maybe make my own darkroom, but I don't have the space for it.
I think you can just take the photos and get them developed.
Yeah.
Like you can go to Central Camera downtown.
Downtown, yeah. Robert was also into it. He recommended that place too.
Yeah, the like community dark room or something.
Yeah.
You pay a membership and you get to use their facilities.
Yeah.
It's funny to me how film photography has become so like professional photographers unanimously are like, that's a waste of time and effort. And everyone just uses digital unless you're in this niche where you want to use the film thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the photography world. I know a lot of people still do film darkroom stuff.
People are doing now that are in the photography thing, they're doing the Civil War style of photography where they use the glass. And
That's cool.
And the lighting is super intense. But, there was a recent portrait of Questlove doing that. It's on his Instagram, so.
Is it like on a metal plate, like
Yes.
a tin type? Or
Yes,
a
tin
Like
type.
a daguerreotype.
Yeah.
Yes.
All those.
That is.
That's another early.
It's like one of the very
19th
first like
century.
forms of photography,
Yeah.
I believe.
You can see his warts and everything, all the acne scars and everything. The ultraviolet behind the skin. That
So
kind of
beautiful.
jazz.
It's very detailed. I would have thought it'd be a little more blurry.
No,
Yeah.
it's super detailed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so you got into photography, and explain to me how you fell or started to enjoy oil on canvas.
Well, I was in community college and I was taking a photography course.
What?
I don't even know if
You went
this
to
is
IUN is a community college?
I think so. It's
a
it's not like a
four-year-
private college.
It's a 4-year school. Community
it?
means 2 years generally.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I just was there for, because I thought I had to be. And then I was like,
Indiana University Northwest, Gary, Indiana.
Gary,
Shout out to a
IN.
great art program.
go Region Rats.
Region Rat.
Yeah, it's called, like Northwest Indiana, people call it the region. And then like people consider themselves like Region Rats, which is like, way to like make yourself just sound like trash.
Hey, man,
I don't know. Trash.
gotta love your culture, I guess.
I love Indiana. No, I'm not even from Indiana. I'm from Lansing, Illinois. But I mean,
Lansing, Illinois.
I've
That's
lived
nice.
I moved to Indiana when I was like a freshman in high school.
Isn't it interesting that you just drive an hour away from Chicago and it's boom,
Completely different.
Confederate land?
Literally. Literally. I go to like where my parents live to like cast my jewelry and stuff. And I just like drive around and I see like Trump flags everywhere. And I'm just like, give up the dream, bro. Like, it's never going to happen. Give it up.
Indiana's still a northern-ish state.
Yeah.
It's not. But are there people who fly Confederate
yes.
flags in Indiana?
Well, if you go like
Southern
further
Indiana.
south, like so where they live, they're in Hammond, Indiana. Technically, it's like basically just Chicago, like just a suburb of Chicago, but technically in Indiana.
So why'd you move away from photography and towards more handmade arts?
I don't know. I kind of like, I've always been this way, is like, I just kind of jump from hobby to hobby. So I was really into photography, and then I was really into like visual art. So I was like drawing and painting a lot. And then I just kind of felt like limited because I dropped out and I didn't really learn like all the, you know, the rules and like how to draw things lifelike, and I don't know. I just felt like limited, so I was like, I want to make something that's like visual, but also like, I mean, I don't even really know what made me initially make jewelry, but I mean, I had with friends like made beaded jewelry. That was kind of just like a fun little thing, like friendship bracelets. You hang out with your friends, you make necklaces, bracelets, all that shit.
Do you think braiding hair helped with your jewelry?
I suck at braiding hair. Oh. I can't French braid. I can fishtail braid if I watch a video, but I can't do French braid. So I don't know. Okay. Maybe.
That was just a silly question of me.
And that's fair.
Do girls do that ever? Braid each other's hair?
No. Well, okay, that's actually not true because I've braided my coworkers' hair. But like we don't like hang out and like braid each other's hair. It's like really if you're like
at
say
work.
Well, making coffee is like, oh, let me braid your hair.
Yeah.
Hold on for a sir with your cappuccino. We're busy.
Yeah. Don't you see I'm doing something right now? But
oh, your hair's so silky.
Yeah, it's very romantic, very sensual. You should braid his hair.
I don't know how.
Later is.
I don't think it's
I've
long
tried to
enough
teach you
yet.
how to braid my hair.
I know, and I remember
It's pretty easy.
I got it sort of down at one point, but my braids are very sloppy and not worth keeping in your hair.
It's okay. I mean, it's fine.
Just be gentle.
Just be gentle with him. That's all he asks. He's very sensitive. Look at him.
Thank you, bro.
Are you going to keep growing out your hair till it's
I don't know.
Shoulder length?
Maybe neck length.
Have I ever seen you with like this long hair?
No.
Have you ever had it?
Maybe up to here, maybe like
around
like,
so where you're at now.
Like maybe 3 more inches and that's it. So before we start talking about jewelry, because it's the reason you are who you are, I've seen
no other,
not the reason, but one of the many multitudes that you contain.
I see what you did there.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Seeing some of your artwork, it's really abstract. And when you collaborated with Dylan, it was a really nice like salt and pepper vibe, you know, the yin and the yang, because he does a lot of detail stuff.
Millie and Vanilli.
Yes.
Who's who? Am I Millie or are you Vanilli?
They both suck. They were lip syncing and fake.
Well, I hope both of you don't kill each other either.
Did they kill each other?
They committed suicide afterwards. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think one of them did. I think the other one did too. I'm not sure. I know one of them did for sure.
You're not thinking of Bonnie and Clyde?
No, I'm thinking.
Are you thinking
artists,
of Hugh
right?
Honey and Vic Vinegar?
I don't know
Girl,
the actual
you know
story.
it's true. That one's done.
I didn't even know the name of their song. I only know them as like a punchline of pop culture. And sorry, go on.
So how when you first interacted and collaborated with it, how was that experience doing the abstract versus the maximalism, hard to define Dylan Ravi's artwork?
Yeah.
Art.
Well,
I mean,
Brooke, you answer that, but I have my own take on this too. That I'll follow with.
Okay. I mean, it was really cool because, like, I mean, I can't paint that shit. I don't have the technical expertise. So I was kind of just giving my like stream of consciousness, which I'm big into, and it was nice for him to like add some, you know, some actual imagery instead of just a bunch of squiggles and lines.
Okay. Well, I'm going to lean forward for this because I got to unload some
Oh
information.
my God, what are you gonna say?
I'm glad you're talking about those collaborations because I love those paintings, but
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think I've ever even, neither of us have posted them on Instagram or anything. They're
I
just
did.
on my website, and Oscar's seen them. And
Have you seen
your
it?
website too? Brooke Butler, brookebutler.space.
I haven't updated that or in like forever.
I know. But anyway, what I was going to say is that we both did abstract and representational stuff in those paintings. Some of the most like clear imagery was drawn by Brooke, like a hand pointing at something, or a clock, or a cow stomach, or
It was
a cow
leg. Yeah.
and then and then some of the more abstract stuff was drawn by me. We kind of went back and forth.
Yeah.
But why I got so excited is because I think Brooke is a kindred soul to me, who also likes just zoning out and like painting whatever
Yeah.
makes you happy.
Yeah.
I think all artists do that to some degree, but the fact that you can like go between abstract and representational with
Yeah.
the same looseness is I strive to do. I don't always do it because I get too wrapped up in the details, but I think that's why we collaborated well on those.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Do you do that when you're drawing and painting, Oscar? Do you just like paint whatever comes to mind, or do you try to have a idea in mind first?
Sometimes it's a thought that comes into mind, and it's try to draw it. Like I wish I had the skills to manipulate what's in my brain to put it out there, but it's a progress.
It is. I can tell just from talking to you about art and seeing the art you've made that for you the idea tends to come first. You're
Yeah.
like, I have an image I can't help, but I can't keep in anymore. I want to.
You're compelled.
Yeah, yes. But this is not about me.
Yes, it is.
It's about all of us in
It's
a
about
way.
us.
This is the first 3-person podcast.
Yeah.
It is a different vibe. If we can break the fourth wall for a minute, we're on a podcast right now.
What?
And when there's 3 people, I've gotten really comfortable with the 2-person format. We bounce off each other.
But the
pretty
third person.
easily. When you have a third person, you got to like wait your turn. You got to pick your moment to jump in.
Yeah.
It's not as much as it's like
intense, it's different.
Less of a tennis match and more of a dodgeball match.
Oh, who's winning?
Well, I don't know.
I suck at
Ooh.
dodgeball.
Well, it seems like you're still surviving, so you're not losing.
You guys haven't hit me in
Yeah.
the head with a dodgeball yet.
Well, it was getting a little bit heavy or intense in the beginning when we were talking about Etsy, so it's a good thing that
That
we
was
went
fun.
back.
We should talk more about it.
Oh, we will later.
We
maybe.
should lighten the mood, and I have a question to ask you guys.
Okay, go ahead, do it.
If you were bread, what kind of bread would you be?
French.
Because of that French broad?
Oh no. For context here, people don't know what I'm talking about when you
They
say
don't
French
need to know.
fraud.
Oscar came limping in here today
Yeah.
talking about his French customs interrogation. Which
Flirty
sounds like the most
exchange.
exciting story ever told on this podcast. But do you want to repeat it for the viewers?
Okay,
that might be a good story.
Share.
I am not a good storyteller.
You're a great storyteller.
need-
So when I went to France, you go to customs, and there was this French customs person, really beautiful looking femme, blonde hair. I was making the compliments like it looked like you, but with blonde hair and everything, and like she was giving me attitude because she saw that my passport was U.S. passport. She was asking me questions, and then when she turned the page and it said that the birthplace was Mexico, her attitude changed completely. Like, "Oh, are you from Mexico?"
She was like, "Oh, thank God you're not one of those stupid Americans."
Yeah, and then she started speaking to me in Spanish, like "Bienvenido a Francia," and I'm like, "Oh, gracias," and then all that stuff is like "Que tenga un buen día," and it's like, "Oh, tú también," and like that was like she changed her attitude, like I made her day. So it was really
she
nice.
Probably-
French or Spanish?
She was French.
But
But
she
French
just spoke
and Spanish
fluent.
are very similar
Yeah,
languages.
yeah. Like the French they at least speak 2 to 3 languages. I made a joke to a friend of mine at that time. A dumb European is a European that speaks only 1 language.
Damn, I'm a dumb American.
Good joke. Well, it's different for Americans. You can be a relatively intelligent American.
Like me.
and still not give a shit about the rest of the world doesn't make you a good person. But we're not. I already sound like the most red state
You sound
asshole.
like an
I
American.
mean, you're no Joe Rogan, buddy.
You know a little bit of Thai. Few words.
Sawaidi, sawaidi, sawaidi.
P-pluck.
Sawadee.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that one. Your mom's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so proud of him."
Yeah. She watches these.
Or she will be
I know,
incredibly
which is-
She
which is
disappointed.
enjoys them.
Which is great. I'm glad.
She makes up 60% of our views on YouTube.
I wonder
No,
what
I'm
her
just
favorite.
kidding.
I wonder what her favorite episode.
Probably
is.
the Bob Dylan one. Dylan's
I'd have to ask
namesake,
her.
Bob Dylan.
I thought she would hate that one, or my segment where I thought that maybe Bob Dylan was the reason she spoke English.
She did text me to offer a clarification on that. No, I was learning English before Bob. I heard Bob Dylan. Or like it wasn't the reason she got into him to learn English, but maybe I feel like you might be right because his lyrics are very
English.
Clear and concise.
they're very English, and they're clear. He enunciates the words very clearly, and they're just like poetry but also prose at the same time.
Did he use any reverb on his voice, or is that just like very?
Maybe for Nashville
Bare
Skyline.
bones.
Yeah, in certain eras.
Window.
Beautiful.
Dude,
I don't like the sound of that album and his singing though.
From that one and what's the other one? Train in Vain? No, not Train in Vain.
Slow Train Coming
No, not that one.
on Nashville
Tangle Up in Blue.
Skyline.
Tangle Up in Blue. That album.
Oh, Blood on the Tracks.
Blood on the Tracks.
You think there's but that's mid '70s. Mid '70s was like dry city for production. They didn't use hardly any reverb, at least on drums and instruments. Probably a bit on vocals.
Unless you put Kashmir by Led Zeppelin.
Did that have reverb?
That sounds like a lot. It's like
even
Reverb
know.
Town.
Yeah,
And
but it's
When the
real
Ladies
reverb.
Break by-
It's not some effect.
You got a point there.
They would put the drum set in a stairwell or something and really get some echo.
Those were the days.
We should,
Hell yeah!
we should get into
But
that.
what kind of bread would you guys be?
Oh yeah, what kind of bread would you be?
Sourdough.
That's good bread.
Thanks.
This started because I was like in the kitchen at my family's house, and I don't know what came over me, but I just asked my dad. I was like, if Lucy, our dog, if Lucy was a loaf of bread, what kind of bread would she be? And he was like, I feel like a marbled rye. And then I don't know why. You were talking about something earlier today, and it reminded me of.
Okay.
Oh, potatoes. You were talking about potatoes.
Good, but you didn't answer your bread question. You just
Oh.
answered Lucy's question.
I think
Your
I'd
answer
be
for
a
Lucy.
focaccia.
Focaccia. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't even know what a focaccia bread
Is
It's
that
is.
the
got
one with
bubbles.
I was gonna say, does it have cheese as well or no?
I don't know.
It probably could,
It probably could. Probably could.
but not by definition.
I just
All
see-
cheese focaccias are focaccias, but all focaccias are not cheese focaccias.
Correct. Maybe I should ask you what kind of cheese would you be?
I don't know.
Would you be?
No, let's not ask anymore.
No,
What would you
let's-
be?
let's-
Question.
We'll
Those are
do
my
that
favorite
halfway.
kinds
Just gonna
of
cut this
questions.
off now.
This is
beginnings.
my interview now.
So more to discuss about
No, we
your
do.
art practice.
We do.
I want to
Brooke-
talk about cheese.
Brooke, in what ways did Dylan? What did Dylan taught you and continues to teach you, and during your art life?
That's awfully patriarchal of you to insinuate that I would teach Brooke something.
Yeah.
Oscar.
What about
No, no,
me
no, no,
teaching him?
Brooke teaches me.
That
Yeah,
was my
ask
question.
him what I
I was
teach
gonna ask him that
All
once
right.
you were done.
Do it.
Bro, Dylan. What has Brooke taught you and continues to teach you during your life and art life? So, like, we can get art-wise, and then if you want to, we can get personal, because, you two are, happily in a relationship.
I was gonna start with a more life lesson thing, actually,
Okay,
because the
okay.
art.
Oh God.
Sorry for lesson blocking you there.
Well, yeah, art's weird. I don't even like try not to think too much about art and just do it.
Well, you have an art podcast about art.
And is
But anyways,
I
yeah.
know, but it ties in. I think life and art should be intertwined if you're doing them right. And Brooke, I think you have a very good way of being. You don't get stressed about things. You do, but in a way that I think is realistic. And you've shown me that it's okay to be more comfortable existing, and that not everything has to be like a total paranoia-filled manic episode. So
Yeah.
that extends to art well, because you have to, like, a little neuroses helps you even like have the drive to want to make stuff, but
and be better.
and be better, yeah. But it's a balance, and I definitely have times when I go too far on the paranoid, neurotic side, and you leveled me out, or like just showed me a
I'm
way
like,
to.
hey, bro, it
not
ain't that
do
deep.
Yeah, you don't get like freaked out about interactions you have with strangers in the world, and
No,
the way I
because
do.
I used to care what people like thought about me, but then like, I don't know, my first like service industry job kind of made me like ditch that real fast, because I was like, I can't please everyone, and I want to just like be who I am and not give a shit like what other people think, and I want to have fun. So
My hypothesis of this is also that you like moved around so much growing up to different houses, different towns, even in the area, that you had to
Yeah.
like adapt to new friends at school, new.
Yeah, I've had to
people.
adapt and like change friends and houses so much that like, I'm good with change.
Yes, and you may be good with change, but doing that alone is really courageous of you. I mean, you have to face the reality, face the music, but sometimes it sucks to be strong. It's draining all the time.
Oh, hell yeah.
So with that, in that context of what I'm talking about, in that experience, do you use your art as a way to liberate yourself in that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I was kind of a very depressed child. Well, maybe early teens, because, like, I don't know. I had kind of a rough, like, I don't know if I'd say upbringing, but maybe adolescence. Kind of a rough adolescence. Had some crazy stuff happen to me. So, I mean, I just have a lot of stuff I'm trying to, like, I don't know, work through, and I find like comfort in like kind of not thinking about anything and just like doing what I want to do, like zoning out and carving some wax.
So sorry if I'm being too intense here. So we can pull it back if you want. So would you say that your trauma is your biggest inspiration of doing your art?
Probably. I mean, it's probably what drove me to do it in the first place. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like a big thing that like I write about when I write songs. Big part of like me drawing when I was like a little kid. Big part of like what I was trying to express when I was into photography. I was like 14 and I was just dealing with all this shit. And I was like, the only way I can really get it out, because I've never been good at like talking about my feelings or like even expressing my wants or needs or just communicating in general.
It takes time, man. It takes time.
I'm still
I think
learning.
it's going to be a life lesson.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lifetime to learn that.
Yeah.
And heck, maybe even our deathbeds, we're like, oh, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what people who have the luxury of anticipating their imminent demise get to think about. All
Yeah.
their regrets.
True.
So I've heard. People are like, shit, I shouldn't have done that, or should have done this, or whatever.
I don't think
I
I'll
was,
have regrets.
That's what I'm saying. You're very at peace with existence in a way that...
Yeah, because I just do what I
find
want when I want.
admirable.
I know what I want, and I want it now. It's that big 90s song.
I don't know that one, but your last question made me have a question because you said like how does art is your
Trauma.
yeah, I forgot how you phrased it, but is your art like an outlet for your trauma or something? Or I kind of get how that applies to just the act of making something. Like it's a place where you can almost have a meditative state. And I think for me, a big part of it is after you've done something you really like, that feeling of pride. It's like a high.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
I was talking to my coworker of mine. He happens to be Mexican as well. And we were talking about what kind of job we would like to have. Sorry, this sounds such a stereotype.
Whatever.
Whatever. Like he would like a dream job that he would like to have. And he told me that one thing he would like to do is, again, this is where the stereotype comes from. He would like to be in construction if he wants to, because he gets, for the lack of a better word, because my vocabulary is not good compared to you two, he gets off by saying like, oh, at the end of the day, I did that. That wasn't there in this morning.
Yeah.
And it feels like a form of accomplishment, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
So do you guys have that form of satisfaction after it's done? And you were thinking to yourself,
yeah.
wow, I didn't do this 2 hours ago. Now look at it.
I think
Yeah.
that's universal, and that's what drives humans to get up in the morning and go to work and do things. Just like seeking that feeling of pride in something you've made. Ideally, if you have the luxury of having a job that can provide that for you, which a lot of people don't. Mm-hmm. But that's why you have hobbies and you try to find other ways to access that feeling. I was going to ask, though, if making jewelry specifically has a different type of outlet based on your life experience versus, like, I understand the psychology of making paintings. I've thought a lot about it. Like, you're kind of telling stories and expressing yourself with an image, but jewelry is unique in the art forms because it's wearable. It's like this precious, one of a kind item if it's handmade and singular and not like some mass produced thing from Claire's or something. Like somebody devoted a lot of time and attention into making that thing.
Yeah.
And it's already a valuable substance if it's using a natural gem or a crystal or something. I'm just wondering how does that relate to trauma?
Well, I mean,
Question?
I don't think it's I'm not using it to like deal with my trauma. It's more so like a natural evolution. So it was like I was doing photography when I was like the most, I guess, impressionable and depressed and in my teen years. But then I kind of ventured into painting and drawing, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. And I also felt the same way where you just kind of like zone out and like just let whatever you're feeling out on like a piece of paper or like, you know, a canvas or something. And then I just kind of felt like I wasn't creating what I wanted to, and I didn't really have the means or like the knowledge to like progress and kind of like up my game, and I didn't really know how to teach myself, and I didn't want to go back to school. And then I was like seeing, I guess maybe I was like inspired by stuff I saw on Instagram or something, because I kind of can't remember, because it was like 7 years ago I started making like the first jewelry, like first phase of my jewelry.
Do you still have
journey.
your first piece of jewelry?
No, I sold all of like I've sold like a lot of stuff over the years. Like,
Congratulations.
thank you. So I was making like beaded jewelry, and then I was using like crystals and stuff and like copper tape and solder, and you could kind of make like just like it looks silver, but it's definitely lead based and not like it's a little bit limiting. Like you couldn't do that much with it. So I kind of just felt like, okay, there's nowhere for me to go and up my game from here. So then I saw that you could use copper and you could make like very organic shapes, very like abstract things. Like you could really do more with that than what I was like originally doing. And And then eventually I got kind of over that because I wasn't even, I liked what I was making and I felt good about what I was making. Like I was proud of it, but I didn't feel like compelled to wear it because it didn't really like match it was like my aesthetic and like something that I was proud of making, but it wasn't like my style. Like I probably wouldn't have bought it.
Is that how you challenge yourself when you do jewelry? Like doing things that's not your style, your niche?
No, I want to make. Well, that's why I got burnt out because I just felt like I was making it for someone else. Like I wasn't making it for me, you know. And I feel like once you can really like let go and just make stuff for you, like that's when like the true like real stuff comes out. Like you're being yourself. You're like authentically and unapologetically yourself.
But what gave you that thought in your head?
What do you mean, like
doing art not for you, that you had to do it for someone else? Was it your clientele base? Was it Etsy? What is it that pressured you to make art that did not satisfy you because it wasn't your art?
Well, I for a while I was like into it. Like I was thinking that that's who I was and that's what I wanted. But then like I just kind of, you change. I was in my early 20s and I knew who I was, but, I don't know, maybe my taste just changed. I'm not really sure.
I would say you're also I don't want to use the word limited because you really mastered that, like the copper forming and even before that, solder-based jewelry. You were just like stepping through these different techniques, learning how to use them and doing your aesthetic in each thing, but
it was always true to me, but
you got tired of it, or you saw other stuff, other techniques you wanted to make, so you sort of left those behind. That's something I find interesting, that you haven't yet gone back to copper, or you don't really have a reason to use the solder again because you're using real silver now. But do you think you'd ever return to copper just for aesthetic reasons?
Yeah, I mean, there's like certain things, like I was even thinking about like making some copper stuff again. But I don't know, I've just I kind of get like laser focused on things. So I've kind of just been like really trying to get good at what I'm currently trying to learn. And it's been like a year of trying to like teach myself how to do this stuff. And I feel like just in like the past like 2 months or something, I've really like figured it out.
Will you ever fool around with gold?
I do want to, but it's so expensive, and I'm not really sure because like if you were to make what I'm making solid gold, like I'm using an ounce of silver, which is like $25 an ounce for like one piece, and like an ounce of gold is like, I don't even know, because it changes every day. There's like a market price for it.
What is it roughly? I don't even how much.
I'm guessing it's like over $300, maybe $500.
Yeah, it's like very expensive. So it's like there's the different carats. Mm-hmm. There's like 18 karat, there's 14 karat, and then each. I'm not exactly sure what you mix the gold with to. So there's solid gold, which I think is like 24 karat.
Is it silver? Do they?
I don't know what it's mixed with. It must be. But to make something solid gold is like crazy.
It's like the same question. What makes chocolate white? What makes white chocolate white?
It's like the cocoa butter.
Entitlement.
Nice.
The privilege.
There you go.
Because there's something about your copper pieces. They maybe because you were building copper off of these organic forms like twigs and vines and
that's like some of my favorite stuff.
Yeah, there's just something about it that this like I don't think silver can ever look like that because it has to be molded and cast and it's more artificial in a way.
Yeah, but you can like mimic that type of things. But that's like the hardest part is trying to like teach yourself how to carve things. Because I'm not a sculptor. Like I never learned.
But it's kind of like sculpting a bit. I
mean,
it's abstract sculpting, right?
Yeah, and that's like kind of like all my art forms are kind of like meeting in the middle. Because like I'm doing a lot of photography to like take photos of my jewelry. I'm using like abstract art from like my drawing and painting and stuff to like draw inspiration for like designs and stuff. So yeah, it just kind of feels like, you know, a natural evolution of like I'm just following my interests and like my inspirations.
Your
and,
intuition,
like,
your soul.
yeah, my intuition.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was gonna bring up something I forgot. This is what happens when you get older. You have a question and then it just goes off.
It just happens when you're ditzy.
Yeah, tipsy too.
Can we normalize being in your early to mid 50s and forgetting things?
Yeah.
You're in your 30s, bitch.
No, he's around there.
I said that because Oscar likes to perpetuate the
Yeah,
myth
because you're
that
like
he's,
47 years
Yeah,
old.
61.
How old are you? You're like 35?
62.
Okay.
But
Whatever
okay,
you
yeah,
say.
You're doing great.
Now I remember. Thank you. I don't know, man. I got this ankle problem. It's hurting. So I wanted to ask you this because it just popped in my head. The clientele that you have, what region is the most popular that you get a lot?
Get a lot of stuff in the U.S. and Canada, but I've also shipped to like, done Russia, China, Japan, Australia.
How did you react when you got an order from Japan? Did you get excited? Did
It's
you get
cool because
bamboozled?
it's like, damn, like this person is like halfway across the earth, and like they somehow
They
found
want
me.
you.
They found me, so it feels really special. Like one of the
That
first
is super
reviews
cool.
I got on Etsy was from this girl. I think I sent her one of my like soldered silver necklaces. It was like a black kyanite necklace, and I think I sent it to China, and she left this like really nice review. And every time I send something, I get this like really big like worry that it's gonna like break, or it's gonna just like not live up to their expectations, or like I'm charging too much and the quality isn't there.
Because in the end, it's out of your hands.
Because it's out of my hands. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to it, like, you know, when you're wearing it, or I can't really control that. Like, but it gives me a lot of anxiety. But she wrote me, like, the nicest review.
Is she
on
the one who
Etsy.
also did a drawing?
Yeah,
of
she did,
it?
like, a drawing of it.
Aw.
And she posted it in the Etsy review.
Yeah.
We'll definitely include an image of that.
Yeah.
That's
it was
adorable.
so sweet.
Aw. But so, what's the most popular area in the U.S.? Is it Arizona?
I don't know. I haven't looked in a while. But before, it was, like, California.
All right.
You were close. What is it about the West Coast?
I don't know. They
and
got
the
money over there, I
Southwest?
guess.
Or they just like crystals and.
Oh, yeah. Hippie shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Hippie
I don't know. I'm just trying to make shit I like.
And you're doing it.
I'm
You're
tired
doing
of making stuff because I would literally just make a bunch of copper stuff, and like I find it like cool and beautiful, and like I was proud of what I was making, but it would literally just sit until I sold it, you know. So I wasn't like compelled to wear it. Whereas like now I'm making, I like wearing silver jewelry, so I just wear it until I sell it.
Let's go back about depression. Because I spoke with an artist a while back, and she, as an artist, loves it when she's depressed.
Oh yeah, it's comfortable.
Bamboozled me. I found it really uncomfortable hearing that, because she said when she's depressed, that's the best form of art she's ever made. She gets in the zone, like she might be hurt, but like she is like in a meditative state and doing that art, and she loves it, and she prefers being in the depressed state compared to a happy state. I myself, when I'm depressed, I don't want to do anything. So like hearing that is kind of inspiring, because you know some people have that chemical brain to do things when they're in that depressive state.
Yeah.
So let me ask you too, what do you do in those situations? Because each artist is different, right?
That's true. I mean, do you want to start?
Yeah. I mean, I'll just echo what you're saying, that I'm very impressed by your friend, that she can manage to do anything productive. But that's beautiful. That means art for her is something very cathartic and therapeutic. And I think every artist, you're blessed if you have that drive, but I don't know where it comes from. I certainly don't always have that. When I'm depressed, I'm like you. I don't like I'd rather just do some very self-soothing, mindless entertainment or something rather than, because art and creating takes a lot of energy. But I will say, like, general periods of my life that I've felt pretty low and depressed were pretty prolific, and I look back on the stuff I made and I like a lot of it. So there is something to depression equaling better art.
Is there a piece that pops in your head right now that you're talking about, for an example? That way we can put it right here.
There's a bunch.
How about just 2 or 3, or maybe 2?
Just one.
Well, or 1.
I don't know. My first year of grad school was probably the worst year of my life in various ways.
Was that 2014?
No, it was 2012 and early 2013. But I actually, I'm just contradicting what I just said, which is that a lot of that art had like very little effort put into it, was very slacker-ish, because I just could barely pick up a paintbrush at times. So it's pretty bad art, actually, but I think it was important for me to make. It was an important year in like...
You were getting it out.
I was, and it helped me figure out what I wanted to do after. I'll put some pictures in the video to explain what this
I'm
is.
sorry to make a bad joke on this, but was it your version of Bob Dylan's self-portrait?
There were a lot of portraits and self-portraits involved, so yes, I think that is something artists do when you're feeling depressed and introspective. Just set up a mirror and just, why do I feel like this?
I'm
Let
talking
me
about
paint
the album.
myself.
I'm talking about the album. Is it portrait or self-portrait?
Self-portrait, that painting on the cover, right?
No, but how that's the worst Bob Dylan album. But afterwards,
Oh.
he gets better, or he gets back to his groove.
Well,
Because sorry, we're going to talk to you soon. Sorry,
I don't care.
because you're basically saying that stuff in that era is not the best you've done, but
it's
you're
real bad.
You're admitting it that afterwards you're getting better.
Oh yeah, it's like the night is darkest before the dawn. I think that
shit.
cliche
Is that Tom?
phrase.
Is that
So profound.
Dylan Thomas, right?
I don't know.
That's
Dylan
who wrote
Rabe.
that.
No, isn't that Donda West? I forget. Okay.
Jazz up.
I don't know. It's like a proverb or just some cliche expression. But I think it applies to a lot of situations, including artistic growth. You have to really. There's even a cliche in art school, especially graduate school in studio art, which is this kind of recent phenomenon of the last 50, 60 years, like the MFA program for painting or photography or printmaking. Any fine art, now you get an MFA, and that's, you spend 2 years basically breaking down your whole outlook on art, and like faculty members are just telling you suck, you got to do this. Other people say, don't do that, do this other thing. It's just a bunch of contradictions and a clusterfuck of opinions, and then you come out of that, if you even want to make art anymore after that, you emerge a better artist because you've broken yourself down. At least that's the hope. But for a lot of people, like, they get an MFA and they go work at a tech company and never pick up an art paintbrush again or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Brooke, what do you enjoy being depressed? Does it help your art? Does it make your art better?
I would say yes. I mean, I mean, it's so hard to say because, like, I think for the longest time, from the age of like, I don't know, 12, I would say I was probably depressed. And that's like when I was the most inspired to like start expressing myself in like some type of way. And I mean, I haven't really stopped. Like, I've always wanted to express myself because I'm not good with my words. Like, I don't really, I've always been kind of like a reserved, like, quiet, shy person. I mean, I'm kind of loud. Like, I speak loudly, but like, I'm not like the person to like start a conversation or like feel comfortable talking about myself. Like, this is even weird, like talking about myself in this way.
You're doing great.
I was going to say that.
Because I don't know. I just assume people don't care. So maybe that's why I've tried to like express myself in like ways that, I don't have to use my words.
I think that's a good transition for this because I do find it a little bit odd that you said that you're not good with words when your band...
Our band.
Okay. Our band. Thank you. It's... You're the lyricist of that band, and your lyrics are really nice and really touching and profound. So so I don't think you're bad with words. In fact, you think you're really good with words, and that's my other question. Where do you get that inspiration?
You mean like for lyrics?
For writing? Yeah.
I was gonna segue into this was like saying that like
or both of you are the lyricists.
He's really good. He's like written like a lot of really
it's
good lyrics.
50-50 so far.
It's 50-50.
Like, you have like a bunch of songs and I have several.
It's the new age Lennon McCartney, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
definitely.
the only difference, never mind.
Is that we're both not men.
You can edit this joke out. The only difference is that both of you do fuck.
Oh my God! No, we do not.
Because there's a rumor going on in the Lennon McCartney scene
that they fuck,
but it hasn't been confirmed. It's just a rumor mill.
I can see it.
But both of you obviously we can assume you guys.
Oscar,
fuck.
do not be crass. We're saving ourselves.
Well, I just don't want to offend any of our Christian base fan base.
You know what? What's a funny fact that reminds me of?
You can cut this out.
No.
You know, Bella, do you watch? Are you watching The Last of Us on HBO?
No, is it good?
It is very good.
It's good if you've played the game. We've played the game, and so we're into it.
So has she played the game?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Dylan go? Let's just imagine that you didn't play the game. Does Dylan go like, "Oh, that happened in the video game, honey, that happened in the video game. Did you see that? That happened in the video game."
If I was watching with you, if you haven't played it, I probably would.
Yeah, I feel like we both know like what happened in the game, so we're not like saying like, "Hey, sweetheart." Never call you sweetheart, but my dear little sweet little baby angel. That happened in the game. Don't you remember that? That was so crazy, huh?
Aww.
No, I think we both just know when there's something happening.
I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe we should. Ooh, it's
you
Sunday.
like HBO?
How
I love
late
HBO.
are you going to be here today? Because the new episode comes out tonight. We could
Like
start
8 o'clock. It's like 8 o'clock, right?
Is it already out? I don't know.
I think they premiere stuff at
7 or 8.
Well, maybe we should watch the first episode.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I think you'll love it.
Okay, I'm a big fan of Pedro Pascal, so.
Yes, he is.
Did you watch Mandalorian?
Zaddy.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't get into it. We watched.
Do you
like
find
one
him
episode.
fine? He is so fine. Dylan does not think so.
I'm not a Star Wars guy, but The Mandalorian's amazing.
I watched half of the first episode and thought, this looks cheap. This doesn't look like...
On the third episode, it gets better.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a break here.
Yeah, I actually have to as well.
Okay.
I was like debating, should we just finish this and stop or...
We're at 57 minutes.
Oh, not bad. It's going by quick.
Are we going to pretend it's a different day? Can I make you change your clothes?
I don't have any other clothes.
You can wear some of mine.
What do you have?
You can, I don't know, look through my options, my wardrobe.
I might change pants.
Okay. Do you have pants or do you want to wear some of my
One of
pants?
your pants.
I'm a 34-inch waist.
Oh, shit, you're skinny.
You're more than 34?
I dabble between 34 and 38. Depending on
4 inches.
Depending on the brand.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'll buy 34-inch pants sometimes at the thrift store thinking, oh, these are great. They'll fit me. And then I come home and they're way too tight.
Yeah, and then your crotch area just feels like it's bulging. Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Not so much the crotch I have issues with. It's
the waist area?
waistband.
Yeah.
But I buy a pair of new Levi's off of Amazon or something. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. And... they fit me perfectly. So I don't know what the deal is with some of these other brands. Levi's always has my back with the 34-inch.
Levi's are great jeans. Are those your favorite jean brand?
They're kind of my go-to just because I know how their sizing works and I like their styles.
For me, number 1's Levi's and number 2's Wrangler.
I've had bad experiences buying Wranglers at, again, the thrift store. I'll buy 34-inch Wranglers and they don't fit.
No, dude. There's different kinds of Wranglers too.
Got your classic boot cut, got your straight leg, got your flares.
Got your flavors.
What kind of jeans are you wearing?
I think they're Levi's.
See, I have bad luck with Levi's.
You do?
They don't have big enough area for my hips and small enough waist. So it's just kind of like if they fit over my hips, they're like really big in the waist.
So they're too intense. They're not hip huggers, huh?
They're not hip huggers.
No.
Yeah. I buy Abercrombie jeans.
Abercrombie, okay. For high hips people like you, what's the best brand? Abercrombie?
Yeah, right now, yeah, Abercrombie.
Okay.
Because they have like a line. It's called like the Curve Love. So it's like they allow more area in like the hips and they're smaller in the waist. So it's like better for like curvy people like that have like a more of like an hourglass waist.
Okay.
Versus like straight sizes and stuff.
Well, what are your thoughts on Express?
I don't think I've ever bought anything because like I remember like going to the mall when I was a teen, but I didn't have money for Express. So.
How about H&M? Do you like it? Or are you an H&M person or Forever 21?
I prefer H&M now.
No?
Because they changed. I think they like kind of upped their game. They're like, they kind of changed their sizing to stop being like for teenagers and actually be for women, which is good. Whoa.
Okay, so going back on the lyrics.
Oh yeah, we could talk about music a little bit.
Yeah, because we were talking about lyrics and we dozed off on that with copulation and everything else.
Baby, 'cause I feel like
You know, I was gonna say
hurt my
nay, but
tummy a
since
little
you're
bit.
doing it, yeah. Give me half of that since we'd be drinking more afterwards.
yeah.
You mean next week?
No, I said half.
Oh, are you gonna change outfits so that the
I don't know.
crowd
so-
doesn't know?
I like to
And who does if they
sip my
know?
tequila.
That's the right way to do it, sipping it.
I
I'm
enjoy
slurping.
sipping all my alcohol now, even vodka, which I think tastes pretty terrible, or just tastes like pure alcohol.
Quick question, Dylan. How do you say water in Russian?
I don't know.
Vodka.
Good.
That's not true, is it?
No, it's true.
No.
It's crazy.
Vodka means water in
And
Russian.
vodka also means vodka.
Just sipping on mine.
Like one time, I did that in front of my cousin. He yelled at me in
What,
Mexico.
sipped it or slurped it?
No, chugged it. Like, I took a shot. And was like, dude, you're such an American. We know you're an American by doing that.
Aw.
You sip it. You take a good time and just
You
sip
just
it.
savor it.
I'm more
Savor
Mexican
it.
than you in that regard.
Yeah, you are.
All right, watch
so
it.
like now when I'm with him, I sip the stuff.
Oh.
Peer
they're-
pressure.
And they're also one of those people when they drink beer, they don't chug it. They take their time. They make that 12-ounce bottle last for an hour.
Bartenders hate him.
Probably. I mean, I would just hate that it would be like probably warm and flat by
It's
the
like a
time.
Jeopardy question. Why do bartenders hate Mexicans?
That just sounds extremely
Racist.
racist.
What's your favorite beer?
For sentimental reasons, there's this Mexican beer called El Indio, the Indian. It's not that good, but I like it. But for sentimental reasons. I think it's sentimental because it was the first time I had a beer, and I was 15 years old. And it was really refreshing. It's one of those refreshing beers, not like hop beer. It's like kind of like a
Yeah.
lager.
Does it taste like a Modelo or
Yeah, I think
Corona
it's
or
better than
something?
Modelo and Corona.
I
Do
wanna
they
try
sell
that.
it in the States?
They do. You just gotta look for it.
The Indian.
El Indio, yeah.
El
yeah.
Indio.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Should look out for that.
Yeah.
It's like now I'm gonna sound racist to you. Have you,
You guys
noticed
always
that,
sound racist.
Have you noticed that Thai people love Heineken?
My grandfather loved it, so that's the only example I can think of.
Yeah, dude. Like when
Why
I was,
is that?
I don't know. A lot of people also love Heineken, and so that's the best connection
Weird.
I have with El Indio. It's kind of like the Mexican Heineken in a way, but with brown. It's more browner instead of clear. Clear beer.
Yeah, I wonder why I never thought about why Southeast Asians would like Heineken.
Beats me.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out one of these days. But going back to the lyrics, we forgot.
Well,
We were saying that
So
they're like
where-
50-50.
Yeah, it's
like
50-50. Where's the inspiration, and how did it go from there?
being
Because
depressed.
it's to an argument, writing lyrics is a form of art,
yeah.
and for me, that's the hardest art that I can produce.
yeah, when I used to be like a teenager trying to write songs for the first time, I thought it was almost impossible to write a good song that doesn't like instantly make me cringe to sing it to people. Until I realized that you gotta tap into that same part of your brain that you're using when you're like making an abstract painting
Yeah.
or something. You just let it flow.
You gotta
out
let
of
it
you.
all go.
Like you're just yelling into a tape recorder, just like venting, but to a beat. So like make a song first, instrumental, and just like hit record, try to sing over it, and then there's going to be a lot of trash in there, so you got to go through and pick out parts that actually sound good.
Yeah.
Do you two get into fights with that? Like, no, this word is not good. No, that word's
not
better.
really.
No.
We almost did.
Yeah, we almost got in a
Last
fight
night.
yesterday because I had a musical idea and opinion, and he was like, "No, it's the other way," and I was like, "I don't think it is."
But that wasn't lyrical. It was more like whether to use this bass note or a different bass note over this line. But lyrically, it's a collaboration because you'll do that singing freestyle thing, and then I'll usually go through and like arrange it a bit. I'll like copy this line and put it a
Yeah.
couple more times for a chorus or something. So it's
Yeah.
very collaborative, but you're making all the raw material.
Yeah, I
Of
do
the
like
songs
the
that you've
melodies and then like the lyrics for at least the songs that I write. But there's some songs that like I come up with the melody to, and I'm like, I just can't come up with any words. So that's where he'll like give his input, and he'll like do some lines. Like I think probably the like best example of a collaboration between our lyrics would probably be Deep Program, because like part of that is me
Yes.
and part of that is you.
And here's an example of that song. Wow.
Wow, how amazing!
We have a video of you playing Brooke's bass upside down in the attic. and
Oh, yeah.
Brooke was just singing and
Yeah,
dancing.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I've never done that before.
That was fun.
I was drunk.
Yeah,
I
that
drank
was
so much tequila.
That was physically speaking, intense day. Like at the end of the day, my body was just so bruised.
Because we played like 6 songs and we played them all like 3 times.
Yeah,
And we talked about Bjork for 2 hours before.
Yeah. What a day! I think that was November 13th.
Something
Was
like
it?
that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I knew it was sometime in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regarding your lyrics, do you sometimes show these lyrics to your friend? Because I can see sometimes you and Kay have not similar vibes, but like there's a lot of things that I can see why both of you are friends.
Yeah. I mean, we've been friends for like 14 years. Since we were, I met her in 6th grade because it was like I was new to the school. And I was coming in at 6th grade, and then we were friends ever since then. We didn't go to high school together, but we were like still friends outside of school. So yeah, we have like, she knows like everything about me. I know everything about her. So, and we have like a lot of like similarities in like our upbringing and, you know, just how we see the world and
I see.
stuff like that. So I mean, I don't really like show her my lyrics per se, but I'm sure she like hears the songs because I don't want to like make people listen to my singing when they don't like want to, because I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, my sister doesn't even like hearing me sing, so.
How dare she? Like
She just thinks it's like awkward to like hear someone she knows sing. So I kind of feel like.
So does she hate Brett's playing?
No, I don't. She doesn't feel
What a
like that,
hypocrite.
but
can
you know,
tell
I
she
don't want
has
to
a
like.
favorite.
What?
I can tell she's got a favorite.
I feel like her
She
favorite.
honestly probably doesn't even care about Brett's drumming either.
No, she doesn't really
She's
care.
kind of in her own world.
Yeah, she's got her own thing. She's got her own interests. You know, she's not like hating Brett's drumming or my singing, but I'm not gonna like force her to listen to it. Just like I'm not gonna make my like friends listen to my shit.
So I was gonna say, I thought you came from a musical background because you're a beautiful singer. Your brother's a great drummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just where did it all hit? Where did the seed happen, and where did it blossom? Where did it blossom? Yeah. I was about to say bosom.
Their mom's a nice singer.
Yeah,
too.
my mom's a good
She's
singer.
got a good voice.
All
Very
my
in
siblings are like, at least like, can hold a tune. McGuire recently, my youngest brother.
Oh yeah, I've heard him sing recently.
He's like
that surprised me.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I didn't know because I've never really heard him sing, but like I heard him singing recently, and I was like, McGuire, you can sing.
Can you imitate his voice? Can you sing like him a little bit?
I don't know.
No more, I love you.
No, that's my mom.
No, I heard McGuire singing that song like all day over the holidays or something.
I don't remember that.
I know your mom does that too.
She
Maybe
does
that's
that
where
too.
he got it.
She's singing Miley Cyrus Flowers right now.
Can you do your mom?
I can buy myself flowers. She loves that line. She just sings that line over and over. It's really cute.
She doesn't really. Does she sound like that though?
No, but that's my impression. It's not like I can't like impersonate her
can you do her
voice.
mom?
So I wasn't over there this weekend to hear the new Miley Cyrus
Oh, yeah, she
covers,
loves it.
so I haven't heard it. I look forward to hearing her do that song.
Yeah. Well, it's almost her birthday, so you can come over for her birthday dinner.
Oh, is she a Pisces?
Is it Pisces season?
Around there.
I don't know. I'm not good with like knowing what month it is and knowing if it's like that season. I only know mine and his.
You're Libra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you are.
I know what you are.
I know
You
what
are.
Insert censored sound.
Oh, sorry. That was rude.
Are you a Gemini?
No, we
Fuck.
already,
He's an
we already talked about
Aries.
this.
You're
No,
an
don't say it
Aries.
out loud. Yes, I am. But
Aries are cool.
okay. When
I suck. I'm the worst.
When you're editing this, just beep it every time the Aries comes out. You're
Why?
a beep.
Why?
'Cause
Aries
I don't want
are
people to
cool.
know. I don't want people
One
to
of my
know.
best friends
Are you
is an
embarrassed
Aries.
of
He's
I'm not
like a
an
double
Aries?
Aries.
No, just because Aries have a bad reputation. And,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
who gives a shit?
I know.
You're a beautiful human being,
But just
not
please
my
do me a
favorite
favor,
guy.
because that would be funnier if it's beeped every time Aries comes out.
New
Okay.
TikTok.
But it's funny, you say that because I just discovered that a coworker of mine thought I was a Gemini.
What's
So-
your moon? What's your rising?
No, none of them are Gemini.
Maybe you just have Gemini energy.
My Venus is Gemini, which I sent you a TikTok about that.
I don't remember
My
that one.
Venus
No, I said it
is
to
a
you this
Leo.
morning. So if you haven't,
Okay.
if you've been there this morning, you haven't seen it.
I saw a couple of ones from this morning, but I don't remember one about astrology.
It was
so
with
I'll have to watch.
with Eric Andre.
Oh yeah, I didn't
I
see
guess
that.
so. You haven't seen it.
What's your Venus?
He doesn't know.
Hang on, I think.
Mine's a Leo, I believe. Kaylee and I
I'd have to
have the
check.
same Venus.
Are you on the CoStar app?
I used
think I
to.
had you
I
on
used to, but then it gave me. I took into a because of CoStar. I went through a huge depression. So I was
Why?
like, not
Why?
because of
Because of
CoStar, but like I was going through some depressing things.
Because you're an Aries?
and then CoStar kind of enables more of your depression. It's like, yeah, you're depressed because you're a piece of ass hit, and like I'm
like
like,
how
okay, I'm
you,
done. I'm done. I can't see this anymore.
See, I don't look at it for my daily horoscope.
no,
or
I just
anything.
look at it when
check out
I-
my friends' charts and
Oh
stuff.
no, I
Yeah.
can't do that. No,
That's more
maybe,
fun.
maybe sometimes psychology helps. Just seeing how they are throughout the day and just see how they're doing and ask them, "Hey, buddy, are you okay?" That helps. Just to hear that someone cares about you. Someone cares.
Someone cares. Someone really cares about you.
But okay, going back to art.
Okay.
Instead of well, this does connect with the question I was going to ask you. Like I've seen that you are into astrology. Does astrology inspire some of your jewelry? Because I also noticed that you're doing a lot of stones and gems. And each gem has a different meaning depending on which astrology sign you are. So with the Libra, what Libra vibes do you give with your art?
I don't know if I mean, Libras are known for having like good taste, so I think I have good
That's true.
taste.
Look at you! Look at you showing your ego. Like, yes, boost that
Yeah,
ego,
I have
girl.
good taste,
Boost that.
to me at least. I don't know if anyone else cares, but I like my shit, so.
Good. Keep it.
Thank you. Besides that, I mean, I'm indecisive, so I like kind of fuck around with ideas, but not too much. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like that big into astrology. Like I kind of like it, but I'm not like researching.
As an indecisive person, how do you make a concrete answer on your art?
I don't.
So, because remember we watched that that TikTok episode of 20% underworked art is better than 10% overworked art. When do you say enough's enough?
That's painting.
Yeah, but we can bring that up with jewelry too.
I don't think it applies to jewelry.
Ooh, this is
I
where
feel
it gets,
like it does.
This is where
like
it
you don't
gets
want to make it like
heated.
too crazy because there's stuff I see online and I'm just like that's just like gaudy.
I don't mean gaudiness, but just like perfected to the point where it's not underworked. You know, you don't like underworked works in a painting because it's this sort of raw primal expression. Jewelry can be like that too. I think you have to pick your points to have that sort of rawness in jewelry. Maybe the initial idea is like a wild sketch you made, and then you turn it into like the concept for a piece, but you still got to finish it and make it like so it's not going to fall apart later, and like it's secure and polished up nicely. And but at the same time, there's copper pieces you make that I think are really beautiful, that are more organic and kind of have some of that handmade quality. So yeah, never mind. I guess the same thing applies. It can be 20% underworked and be good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really overwork anything, mostly because I'm lazy. But also, I feel like I just know when to stop. Like it's not like I'm like thinking like, oh my god, I should add more, I should do more, because I don't really feel like I need to. I think I just intuitively like know when it's done.
So I may be projecting a little bit myself, because for me, and feel free to disagree with me or agree with me with this, but for me, I have this problem of like saying, oh, I can't do A, B, and C or X, Y, and Z because I'm too lazy. But in reality is I'm too tired. But I don't want to admit that I'm tired. So I call myself lazy. And that's me gaslighting myself, and I get that.
Well,
but do you guys have that problem?
First correct usage of gaslighting that I've heard in a while. People just throw that word around.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
so
I gaslight
loosely.
myself so much all the time. So don't feel weird about it.
But my question is like, how do you fight laziness?
Well, you just gotta do it. You can't like think about it. You just gotta do it. Or if you're just really inspired to do it.
Yeah, or just don't do it.
Yeah, because you gotta take time to like not think about that stuff. Because then that's when you come up with like inspiration and ideas. Like you gotta consume media. You gotta watch TV. You gotta watch movies. You gotta play that video game you want for like 6 hours because you paint stuff that's like looks like it's out of Elden Ring. So, and a lot of the stuff I make is like inspired by like TV shows and movies I've watched.
Think of it this way: does the world really need your art that badly, or is it more important for you to take care of yourself and be a whole person and healthy? Like there's always time to make art later. Don't kill yourself, or most people don't. Most people don't feel that don't beat themselves up over not making art. It's just normal. But if you're someone who's making yourself feel guilty, like I have to be making art right now. Why am I so lazy? I don't think it's a healthy mindset.
No.
Just
be
kind to yourself.
When you want to do it.
Right. You're still making more art than you would have if you never felt the impulse to make art. Just be patient. Let the right time happen. Yeah. That's my personal lazy way of thinking, because I do consider myself a pretty lazy person.
Well, I disagree. He's not lazy at all.
He can be lazy. But like
if you see how much time I spend doing absolutely nothing,
but like
I just
you're less
happen
lazy
to,
than me, I feel.
I've been putting a lot of my non-lazy moments on the internet lately, so
You only
people think
see what you want to see.
people think I'm more productive, but I don't know. I feel like it's important nowadays to not just make stuff, but find ways to like show it to people, and I've been trying to be better at that.
You're amazing at it.
I wouldn't say that.
Take a lesson from Brooke and start, stroking your ego sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes
that
it's good.
ego,
I mean,
big
sometimes
boy.
if you do
Oh,
too
yeah.
much, it's not good.
Maybe that's another thing I should learn from you.
How to have a
your
big
confidence. Yeah.
There's a difference
Beyonce.
between being cocky and being confident. That's all I gotta say. Being confident.
You don't think I'm cocky?
No.
Okay, good. Because I don't really feel
I think
like
you're
it,
confident.
but I don't want to come
especially
off
in
as
this, especially in this conversation we're having. I wouldn't even say it's an interview. It's just a conversation.
Yeah, because it would be very formal if this were a real interview, because that would be weird.
So before I forget, what was the potato question?
Oh, you said something because I was talking about having a Charlie horse, and you were like saying that I should eat more potatoes, and I was like, I eat plenty of potatoes. And you were telling me all about all that potassium, and then I don't know why it just reminded me of that question I asked my dad about our dog, what kind of bread she would be.
Okay. I thought it was going to be a potato question.
No, but I could come up with one. What's your favorite kind of potato?
All kinds.
Sweet
Mashed potatoes. I like
Golden,
I like
russet.
I like golden Yukon and russet. I don't know why I don't like sweet potatoes that much.
You don't?
Would you consider yuca a potato? It's not a potato, but it's kind of like, it's like a Cuban / Caribbean plant.
Is it kind of like a
It's sweet.
jicama?
Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you eat it?
Like a potato.
I've never had it.
The only difference is there's a spine in the middle where you have to take it out, because if you don't, it's kind of like the spine of a fish. You have to take out the spine or else it's gonna sting you.
What's it called?
Yucca. Yucca. Really delicious.
I've never
I've
seen
heard
one
of
at
that,
the.
but I've never had. I don't know if I've had.
I've
one.
never. I don't even know if I've seen one.
Do you have a favorite potato, Dylan?
I used to really like the Japanese / Asian sweet potato. That's very like white flesh, brown exterior.
What about the purple Asian sweet potato?
I don't know anything about that.
I may be just imagining that.
I mean, there are purplish or just purple potatoes in general. I'm not sure if there's a purple sweet potato.
I could be making that shit up.
But they're a little drier. I've noticed as I've gotten more accustomed to the different types of potatoes, and just a plain old like a garnet red sweet potato is a superior potato. It just doesn't. It's a different type of sweetness, but it's more moist and juicy, and I prefer just a normal sweet potato.
All right. What about you?
Well, I would second that, but I also like fingerling potatoes. I don't know why. Their shape is satisfying to me, and I like that they're like usually in like a bag with a bunch of different colors in them.
Nice.
Is yucca your answer to that? That's not really a potato.
Mine's golden, russet, and what's the other one you said? With the Y? Yukon.
Okay, so you asked us what our favorite potato is, then you named your 3 favorite potatoes.
Yeah. And then I say I also like yucca, even though yucca's not a potato.
So you're going to name your 15 favorite guitarists, and I'm going to name my 5.
Of course, there's definitely going to be like runners up. Incredible.
Let's quit teasing the audience about the next conversation.
Which will happen next week.
Which episode is going to get posted first?
We'll see.
I don't even know. I haven't decided.
So, I want to finish this conversation because it might be going a little bit too far, but I do want to ask you some more questions. What artist inspires you the most, or do you find who's your favorite artist when it comes to doing jewelry?
That's a good question. I don't know. I try to not like consume too much like media in that way, even though I do follow like a lot of jewelry accounts. Like try not to like think too deeply about it. But there is this one artist that I just like, I feel like what she makes is like what I wish I was making right now, but like, I can't just like rip that off. I have to like do my own thing. But it's like, oh man, I see it and I'm like, damn, I wish I made that. I don't know what her name is, but I know what her Instagram is. It's like Ecclesia or something like that. Cool artist. I don't know. I think she's from
she
like
the one
the
you
East
showed
Coast.
me with
Yeah.
the silver ring that has lots of very just delicate like
Yeah,
swoops
it's just
and
like so
swirls.
detailed and like it's so. I'm really like inspired by like medieval, like fantasy type of style, everything. So like she has a lot of that like inspiration I can tell in like the stuff that she makes. So I'm just like, damn, I wish I had made that, but like she definitely has way more time and experience on her hands. So like, you know, maybe one day I'll make something that's like that ornate and that intricate, but you know, I'm still learning. So
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm still new to the game. She's probably been doing it for a long time. But, you know. Besides that, I don't know. Like visual art. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember any artists.
You have any questions to ask her? I'll let you think about it. Well, I'll ask her this last question for me. What is the future of Brooke?
The future of me?
/ Disenchanted Charms.
Well, I would like to. Well, I just quit my coffee barista job. And it was the best decision I've ever made because now I just have so much more time like to focus on what I actually want to do, which is like making music and making art and trying to just like not contribute to capitalistic society in the United States, which is disgusting. Although I am an entrepreneur. So I'm kind of doing that anyways, but at least I don't have to work for someone else.
It's something really courageous and really hard at the same time. So I commend you for it.
It's really uncomfortable, and that's
Yeah.
why it took me so long to like take the leap. But I'm glad I did it.
So your answer is you quit your job.
What was the question?
Oh, what's the future?
What's the future for Brooke?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I kind of
actually,
got.
no,
I
you
kind
did.
of got.
You kind of.
Well, I quit my job, and now
You're
I'm just trying to
excited to make your
focus
own
on like
shit.
my art and my music, and like try to like just do whatever I fucking
In
want.
order to know the future, you got to know your past.
Yeah,
I
I
quit
mean,
my
I
job.
just don't want to have to work for someone again.
It's hard, man. It's hard out there.
I like.
It's hard in the streets, homie.
For a pimp.
Yeah. I've always felt like I just want to be an absolutely free bird. So, like, I don't want anything or, like, anybody holding me back. Like, I just want to do whatever I want whenever I want and chase whatever passions or interests I have. So,
You want to be a free bird.
I want to be a free bird. I want to fly.
Yeah, fly like a free bird.
This
right.
reminds me of the one of the TikToks you sent me this morning. Miles Davis. Wise words about being a pimp and also just not...
It's funny because I was thinking about this. You said pimp. I was thinking about Davis.
it just makes me realize that like artists, to live in capitalism, you always have to skirt by on the edges of society, and you don't have to play by the rules. No, however it is that you can survive and make a living, be a pimp, be a whore.
Be a whore. Be a whore. Vagabond.
I would like to make a note that I love this generation we're living on because people don't want to use whore anymore, or slut is not even an offensive term.
No, it's not.
We don't use the word whore. We use the word sex worker. We're being more respectful, and I'm being sincere. I'm not
Thanks
trying
for
to make a joke
making
out of
me
it.
seem incredibly bigoted.
No, but I just enjoy. I enjoy this. It's like what a good time to be alive.
Yeah, I didn't mean whore as a disparaging thing at all.
No.
I was just trying to, it seemed like the good companion to the word pimp, but I should
I
have.
mean, we were also speaking
Pimp.
about Miles Davis back in the '60s. So
Yeah, and how
Sex
he
worker.
was just
misunderstood.
he seems like a weird guy. He gave me kind of Lil Wayne vibes in that clip. Actually,
Did you see the TikTok vibe where like he went to like another talk show and this little kid wanted to play trumpet for him?
No.
They didn't show the little kid playing trumpet, right? and I guess he wasn't that good or not that great. And then the talk show host like, you want to give went to Miles Davis, like, you want to give advice to this little kid? And Miles Davis says, you know what you can do. You can practice. You can do better. This 12-year-old just got his heart broken. I can tell. But
I mean, maybe it motivated him.
It's like, you know how you sound. You don't need to hear me. You need to practice.
I should pull that card out on my painting students. Yeah. You don't need to hear my critique. You know you need to paint better. You need to practice painting.
Do it.
Well, I think that was a good question to wrap up on. We should save some gas in the tank for next week's ODcast about guitarists. Don't want to burn our noggins out too early.
Is there anything? Okay, before we leave, is there anything you want to talk about or anything you want to say? The last page is on you. It's your neighbors. I saw them coming upstairs.
Okay, I thought someone was knocking on the door.
Nine.
Follow Disenchanted Charms on Instagram, Etsy, and TikTok. Oh wait, no, my name is not that on TikTok anymore. Don't follow me on TikTok. Ignore me on TikTok. Do not follow me.
We'll edit that out.
That's my personal diary. Do not look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put all those links in the description of the video, and support Brooke in her creative endeavors.
Please help me.
Okay. And thank you for watching the ArtCast. This is your temporary host. Okay, thank you for watching the ArtCast. Have a good one.
This is redacted.
Cut that. It's from It's Always Sunny podcast.
That was a good episode.
Good talking with you fine, strapping young men.
I'm gonna actually, that was an hour 30. I think that's a good, tidy length of an episode.
Has it actually recorded the entire time? What was it?
Yeah,
you're...